Hello everyone. Well, as you can see, I decided to bite the bullet and go ahead and purchase all the equipment necessary for mining Ether. And it was a pretty large investment. I decided to go ahead and buy this equipment at the end of December, and using an old shoe rack to hold all of my graphics cards. I have 4 Sapphire 570 graphics cards. Each of them have 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the 4 gig version was a little bit cheaper, but I decided to just bite the bullet and pay the extra $50 to get double the RAM. Now, this has been going for a good month now, and I ran into some issues. In particular, I was trying to use a 750 watt power supply to power 4 graphics cards, and that just wasn't working. It did work, but it was like pulling 850 watts, and then the one day I came out and I smelled a burning smell, so I'm like, dang it, I better do something about that. So I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet again and bought a Rosewell Tomahawk power supply, 1200 watts, and it's pulling 850 for 4 cards. I modified the VBIOS for each card, getting on average 30 megahashes per second per card. I scored a Z170A Asus Deluxe motherboard from eBay. It's going strong and everything's good. I did have to go into the BIOS like 6 different times. Then Windows decided it was going to update, and I had to patch the drivers and all this other happy fun stuff, but it is working. Now, I'm running into an issue with the price. Now, I could have easily sold the Ether that I accrued and collected the $500 approximately 2 weeks ago. But now what's happening is Ether was like $1,200 a coin at one point. Actually, it was $1,300 at its very high point. But I decided that I was just going to hold on to it and wait for the future. Well, the future is kind of bleak right now. There's a lot going on with the cryptocurrency platform. Really scary stuff going on. I mean, first of all, the price of Bitcoin continues to fall each and every day. It does regain some momentum, but ends up falling more the following day. And I mean, I don't know what it is this morning, but I know yesterday I think it dipped below $8,000. So with the Bitcoin price falling, I'm also seeing the price of Ether falling. And I am dual mining. I'm mining Decred and Ether on these cards. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out what to do. and I decided that I'm going to sell my Ether once it reaches $1,200 again. Absolutely. Now, I mean, I could be facing a loss, but it doesn't seem like Ether's stable right now at this point above $1,200. It keeps falling back down. Then, of course, we have South Korea introducing all these new regulations that are supposed to limit and hinder cryptocurrency mining and exchanges and whatnot. It's illegal now, or it's going to be. They're talking about it. Then we have the SEC investigate, maybe not the SEC. One of the agencies, the federal agencies, are investigating Tether. And Bitfinex, which my understanding is Bitfinex also developed Tether. And I never really used Tether, but it's USDT basically, and it was a way for those exchanges to, you could sell off your Bitcoin, you would get Tether, and then you could take the Tether and buy more Bitcoin or convert it to US dollar. But I remember at one point Tether was less than $1 US, and I thought that was interesting because it's supposed to be backed 100% by the US dollar. But I'll be honest with you, I don't understand everything that's going on with it. I do know that there is an investigation ongoing, simply because some people think that Tether was basically the reason the Bitcoin rose so much in such a short time frame. So that's interesting, and of course it's scaring people off because they're like, oh no, if Tether goes down, then, so everybody's just selling off right now. A lot of people anyways. Some true veterans to the cryptocurrency world are like, you know what, you guys are nuts, I'm just going to hold on to my coin. But I got to say, this apartment that I live in, typically I pay $23 a month for electricity. And since I've got my rig going, my electric bill has went up dramatically to like $130, I think. So yeah, definitely seeing a jump in that. That's $100 a month just to run this thing. I paid $300 per card, so that's $1,200. I probably paid a little over $100 for the motherboard, the RAM. Well, no, sorry, excuse me, $200 for the motherboard, RAM, and processor. So that's, now we're up to $1,400, and I've also sunk I think it was $220, I think, for the power supply. So now we're up to like $1,600. So it's like $1,600 I need to make back in order to break even on my rig. And when Ether was at $1,300, I was figuring I could make about $450 a month. That was great. Problem is, it's like $600 or $700 right now. So that's kind of an issue. If I could do it all again, I guess a lot of people say this too, but if I could just turn back time to when Ether was less than $1 a piece, Um, I would have bought $1,000 worth of Ether, um, just for the heck of it. And, you know, probably wouldn't have kept it this long, to be honest, though, because I freak out. And I think a lot of people do that. You know, they're like, oh my God, the stock market's crashing, you know, I better sell out, sell off. It seems like it bounces back, but crypto is a little bit different in that it's really not regulated right now. I mean, it is a little bit, but and as we start to see a lot more of these issues come out of the woodwork, like, oh, somebody's price gouging, and you know, a group of people were responsible for increasing Bitcoin's value 8,000% in a month, that starts to get into some serious legal, you know, issues, and, you know, people in the government start to raise an eyebrow and say, hey, you know what? This stuff needs regulated heavily, just like the stock market. So that's kind of scary, because I'm pretty sure regulation would drive the price down. I also had my eyes on an Antminer A3, which mines Sia coin. Just released the A3 not too long ago. It was kind of a surprise. So I thought, well, since there's all this interest in Sia coin now, I'm going to buy some Sia. So I did. I bought 880 some Sia coin for, I believe, 5 cents a piece. So I sunk like $50 into Sia coin. Well, now Sia coin's falling. I mean, it's like free fall. Yesterday it was like 2 cents a coin. And it's just interesting how this all works out. You know, I mean, you got people out there spending $1,300 on an Antminer A3. Once they get it in their house and running for a month, you know, they're supposed to be making like, you know, $200 or $300 a month, and as they're running this miner, the coin price is just falling dramatically. And yeah, I mean, it's like, well, why? I mean, this doesn't make sense as far as purchasing a miner. I mean, it can if you mine and hold the coins and they actually increase in value, but I've read a lot of places where Sia coin isn't really set up to increase in value by a whole lot. And also, I think the rapid sell-off and fears and etc. are really driving people like to just get out of crypto altogether right now. And I personally think, you know, some people said not last month, but in December of 2017, they're like, oh, Bitcoin's $20,000, keep on holding, hold the coin. Well, that wasn't wise. I mean, because now we have Bitcoin in free fall mode as well as many of the other currencies, and, you know, I mean, if you would sell them off when they were $20,000 a coin, you could basically triple the amount of Bitcoin you own if you would rebuy it today. So that, sell off, reinvest. Um, that's what I would do anyways. I mean, of course, there could be some legal reason why you would want to do that, but I don't understand why not. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty though, and if Bitcoin would be up to $100,000 today, I'd be like, well, yeah, you guys were right. You should have held it, but that's the whole problem. It's a game, and you really don't know what's going to happen in the future. If you should hold your coins or sell them off. Like I said, there's just a ton of uncertainty right now, and I should have sold the Ether that I owned for $800 a coin, and reinvested when it started to fall down to like 600. And next week I'll say, well, darn it, I should have sold the Ether because now it's only $100 a coin. So you never know what to do. You don't know if it's going to go bounce back up or come crashing down to $1 a coin or something. If it fell down to $1 a coin, I would literally sell every freaking graphics card that I owned on eBay, and yeah, I would just sell off and just run with it, man. Invest maybe half of it in buying 500 Ether, and just hope and pray that one day it would go back up to over $1,000 a coin. That's my take on it though, and I think a lot of people would agree that, especially if a coin is very cheap, I think it's better to buy the coin versus going out and spending all this money and trying to mine them. Because the miners really don't reap as much benefit as the buyers. So, but in theory, if I would have just bought Ether when it was $1,200 a coin, I would have been seriously out of a lot of money today, because the hardware is a little bit different. You own it, you can sell the hardware, whereas the coin, you do own the coin, but it can devalue or increase in value dramatically over a short time frame. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an update and why I'm biting my nails. So, I mean, you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money with crypto, and it's just a matter of doing things the smart way. However, sometimes you really don't know what that is, so you have to make an educated guess, and sometimes you're right, other times you're not, and that's pretty much it. So, thanks for watching, and I'll be posting more videos in the near future.